Okay, so standing to begin. If you wonder what Ninja's wearing, it's his cat. Sorry, not cat. It's a cat collar, obviously, but it's his Scare the Birds Away collar. I think it works. Anyway, standing.
Okay.
Feet wide. Oh, Tracy, you're not off
Yeah.
mute. I'll just mute you.
Sorry.
And a little swing side to side. So feet wide, swinging your arms around left and right. Loosely tapping your body. Breaking up your arms. Breaking up your spine. And then when you come to center, keep your feet wide, keep the toes slightly out, hands to hips and squat. And lift. You want to think of sitting back on a chair that's being pulled back as your bottom starts to sit towards it. So you have to really reach your hips back. Keep your spine long and straight. Then you can either keep that or you can touch the ground as you squat. Hands back to the hips as you stand. Touch the ground, hands to hips. Touch the ground, keeping your back straight. If you're touching the ground, make sure you don't round your back to touch down. And then when you're back up, stay there. Turn your toes forward, bring your left hand behind your head, side bend to the right, and then come back up to center. Side bend. Feel the left side of your waist lengthening and then pulling you back up. So building strength in your left side. So this evening is lateral movements through the spine. So we're working on lateral flexion and lateral extension. So that means we're primarily working on the side body. Movement of it and then control of it as well. One more of those. When you come up, bringing your left hand to your right ear and draw your head across to a neck stretch. Long in your right arm. Let your left hand slide down by your side, bring your right hand behind your head, side bend. Watch out for the hips moving. See if you can really plug your hips down your legs into your feet. So your legs become a steady support on which your hips sit, so they don't move anywhere. They're not moving to the side and they're not moving forwards or backwards. So if someone were just to see from your trouser line downwards, they wouldn't know you're moving. Use your breath, inhale side, exhale up. A few more. Keep your elbow nice and wide. Last one. As you come up, bring in your right hand to your left ear, take your head over into a neck stretch. Long in your left arm. Release your hand from your head and bring your feet into hip distance apart, hands onto your hips, and then try and get your muscles between your hands in your belly and your pelvis pulling together. Okay, keeping your pelvis there, take your arms in front, bend your right elbow, I'll just turn to the side, bend your right elbow and turn from your belly upwards. Inhale back to center, bend your left elbow, turn from the belly upwards. So if you think of your elbow bending towards the wall behind you, toward the back of your room. In my case, toward the back of the garden. Wherever it is, twist as far as you can without the legs moving. Last time. Back to center, arms are in front, then as your arms lower, drop your chin to your chest, soften your knees and roll down. Hands can go on thighs if you need to. At the bottom of the roll down, loosen your head with a nod. Okay, and then start stacking your spine back up again. As you roll up to standing, shoulders roll back a little. Relax your arms, close your eyes and stand tall to the top of your head. Imagine you're being measured and you're trying to make yourself extra tall. Drop Drop your chin to your chest and roll back down again. At the bottom of your roll down, a little nod of your head. Relax your head, roll back up again. Feel like you're pushing the ground down through your legs to help you come up well. Shoulders roll back. And again, close your eyes. Chin parallel to the floor and lengthen through your legs, through the spine, through your neck. Press the top of your head up taller. Last time, roll down. This time, instead of nodding your head at the bottom, just really let your head go. Feel like the top of your head is trying to get toward the floor, so you have to relax around your hips, you have to relax the whole length of your spine, you have to relax the base of your skull. Let your head draw down. Feel it get closer and closer to the floor. And then roll your spine back up again. Shoulders roll back. Soft knees as you swing up and down. And then squat and swing, swoop your arms through. So you're going back down into that deep forward bend as your arms swoop. Two more. Arms stay in the air. Catch hold of your right wrist, cross your right leg in front. Oops. And then push the hips over to the right side bend. Okay, keep your side bend and elongate more. Push longer through your legs, longer through your waist. Lean longer to the side. Pull your arm longer. Come back to center. Uncross, other side. You get there, you feel it. And then you think about elongating it and you notice the difference. Take compression out of your spine as you go over. Back up to center, uncross, arms down, roll down, and at this time stay at the bottom of the roll down. Come down onto hands and knees. Okay, and swing your hips side to side like you're wagging a tail. Slow it down a little. You're still happy, still wagging your tail, but just slowly. And then give yourself time now to look over your shoulder towards your hip. As your hips swing left, you look over your left shoulder. As your hips swing right, look over your right shoulder. And then come back to center. Take your right leg out to the side. Place your foot flat on the floor. Yep. And with your foot flat on the floor, try and wag your hips or draw your hips slightly out towards the left. Feel your inner right thigh pressing down. You can make it deeper, drop down onto your forearms or stay on straight arms. Continuing to press the inner thigh toward the floor and to pull the tailbone slightly to the left. Walk your hands back into center. Interlace both hands behind your head so you're up nice and tall. Take a little side bend towards the left and come back up to center. Inhale toward the left. Exhale, squeezing the right waist to come back up. Inhale left. Exhale, squeeze up. So pull the belly in. Aim to get down about in line with the angle of your leg. Bounce. 2 more. Let it be driven by control and strength. 1 more. And as you come up, release your hands, bring that knee in, and then take your left leg out. Make sure your foot goes flat, so roll to the little toe edge of your foot. Stay on straight arms first of all as your hips pull slightly rightwards and your inner left thigh presses toward the mat. Okay, and then think about dropping onto your forearms. And back up to straight arms. Keep your leg out. Interlace your hands behind your head. Inhale. Exhale, lean over toward the right. Then back up center. Inhale, side. Exhale, center. Keeping your foot on the floor. Only leaning to that point where you're still facing forwards. You don't have to twist. Your elbows stay wide, your chest's looking forwards, your gaze is looking forwards. We've got strength and control in equal measures, or the strength is giving control. What? Good, bring your knee in. Okay, and then drop down onto your forearms. Forearm plank number 1, lower your hips to the floor. So it's a bit like Sphinx. Press to your pubic bone, but pull the belly away from the ground. So when we're in Sphinx, we would let the belly sink, so the spine's in extension. Whereas for this, I want you to push into the pubic bone and pull the belly to the spine, so your spine straightens. Push your shoulders downwards to your elbows, and keep your gaze between your hands. Forearm plank 1. Forearm plank 2, you can lift your knees off the floor, your hips off the floor. So you're in forearm plank 2. But imagine your pubic bone still pressing toward the ground and your belly still hugging toward the spine. Keep your gaze between your forearms or your wrist, your hands. Forearm plank number 3, toes tuck under, straighten your knees off the floor. Push through your heels, be long in your body, just like you were when you were standing with your eyes closed. Keep the shoulders pressing downwards toward the elbows and away from your ears. Knees go down, rest back to child's pose with your arms by your side. Palms to the ceiling and relax. Another deep. To a high kneeling position. Take your forearms in front like you would if you're doing forearm plank. Okay, so our arm movement when we do side forearm plank, if you point your right fingers across to your left elbow and then bring it back up and cross your left fingers to point to your right elbow. And that's the same movement we make with our arms when we do the forearm side plank. So come down onto your forearms. Let's do plank number 1 first of all. So pressing through your forearms, pull your belly to your spine, leave the thighs on the floor. For forearm plank number 1, we don't fully twist into the side plank because we've got the legs on the floor. So instead, I'd like you to cross your right fingers to your left elbow and then just push into your right hand and into your left hand, and turn toward the left slightly. Keep the belly pulling toward the spine. Just feel there's a light rotation. Lower your elbow back down and point the fingers forwards. Now your left fingers point to the right elbow. Press into your right hand and turn. Keep the belly pulling to the spine. Shoulders pressing down. A little rotation. Then lower the elbow back down, forearms point forwards. Forearm plank number 2, keep the belly hugging in and lift to your knees. For this, point your toes to the ceiling. Okay, so to the sky. Okay, and we're going to keep the legs together, so your legs are like one leg. Cross your right fingers to your left elbow. Drop both feet over to the right, so you're on the edge of one knee. Take your other arm up in the air. Lift your hips, pull your ribs away from your elbow. Squeeze up. Okay, turning on your knees, treat your knees like feet. So step both knees to the floor, turn back to forearm plank. Left fingers to the right elbow, drop both feet to the left. So your knees stack, right arm up in the air. Pull your ribs away from the elbow on the ground. Squeeze up the curve of your waist. Broaden from the sternum outwards to your shoulders, to your elbows, to your fingers in the air. Without sagging at the hips, turn back onto both knees. Toes to the floor, forearm plank number 3, knees off the ground. right fingers to left elbow, turn onto the edge of the right foot, stack your left foot on top. Yes, that's right. I have to be careful I get my lefts and rights correct here because I'm doing the opposite to you. Squeeze your waist up, shoulders away from ears. Again, try not to let your knees or your hips sag to the floor unless you're doing number 1 or number 2, and then come back around to your forearms. Left fingers to right elbow, turn onto the edge of your foot. Final time, turning, lifting. Open from your breastbone outwards. Strong in your core. Again, try not to sag as you come back to your forearms. Hold for 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, sit back, child's pose with your arms by your side. Completely relax your neck, your shoulders. Breathe deeply in. Bellow your belly into the sides of your chest. Come onto your side with your bottom arm for your head to rest on. Bend your legs for oyster. Take your free hand and first of all put it on the tummy. Check your belly pulls in. Put it under the curve of your waist. Check the curve of the waist lifts so that the spine is in neutral. Put it on the back of your pelvis and push the tailbone under slightly, like the tailbone is trying to tuck ever so slightly to your pubic bone. And then put your fingers on the floor for support. Open your top knee for oyster. Close your top knee back down. And keep the pelvis and the spine just as you set them as you move your leg up and down. And making sure the top hip doesn't roll back. And 1. Knees together. Push onto your forearm, elbow beneath your armpit. Ribs pull away from the elbow. Come back into that little side plank version. We've just got the knees a bit further forwards and bent legs. So you're lifting your hips away from the ground. This time take your top arm over in line with your ear and try straightening your top leg out. Lift and lower the top leg. So we're going up 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The knees come back together and we lower down. You can either swivel around to the other side or turn your back, whichever is easiest, but you want to be on the other side with your head resting on your arm. Oh, I've got the sun just right over the edge of the house there in my eyes. Always the worst, isn't it, when it's just over the brink? Anyway, I'm not complaining about it. Hand on your tummy, hug it in, hand under the curve of your waist, check it lifts. Hand on the tailbone, check it's moving under toward the pubic bone. Then we're supported and we're aligned as we lift the knee and lower. Lift and lower. Again, checking when you open, you don't let the hips swing back. Oh, I must have used this leg a bit more today because it's tiring quicker. We're on our last one. Then prop onto your forearm. Ribs pull up and away. Yeah, broaden from your breastbone outwards. Lift, arm over in line with your ear, palm facing the floor. And then straighten your top leg out. Toes pulling up towards your knee. Pulse the leg up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Definitely harder this side. And then knees come together. Lower down. We're now going to turn onto our back, and I'm just going to swivel around that way so I've got the sun in my eyes. And if you've got something, you can pop something between your knees. If you haven't got something, it doesn't matter, but have your knees touching or with something between them. Take your arms in the air and interlace your fingers together. Once you've interlaced your fingers, we're just going to extend the index fingers, pistol grip. And firm your belly. Firm your pelvis to the ground. And then as you curl your head, then your shoulders, then your chest, you're pointing over the middle of the knees. We're going to pulse chest towards the knees. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Come down. Right arm stays in the air, left hand behind your head. Curl up again. And then angle your right shoulder toward the left hip. So your arm reaches outside the knee. And then pulse there in that direction. 10, keep the knees still. 9, watch out for the knees moving or the pelvis moving. 7, 6, 5. And feel the dominant lift is the chest lifting rather than your shoulder pulling. 2, 1. And then you come down. Right hand goes behind your head, left arm in the air. Inhale. Exhale, curl up and twist. Left shoulder towards right hip, hand on the outside of the leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Center. Left hand behind the head again. Right arm down by your side. For this, we need a decent lift. So you're going to lift your head, shoulders and chest, and then right hand just holding behind the right leg. Make sure your leg doesn't move, but pull on the leg to lift higher. And once you've lifted higher, let go of the leg again. Try and keep this height and reach towards your right ankle so there's a little side bend. 10, 9, back to center each time. 8, 7, your abdominal muscles are working at keeping you curled, lifted, so that you don't catch the ground too much. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're not going to go down. We're just going to bring the right hand behind the head. Left hand holds onto the left leg and pull on the leg to lift taller, to lift higher. Left arm by your side, side bend. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Are you feeling a bit of oh as well? 4, 3, I do hope so. 2. No hand behind your head, but stay lifted. Interlace your fingers once more, point over the block. Last 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Use your belly muscles. Try not to use your shoulders. 2, 1, and then down. Arms overhead. Take the whatever it is between your knees out. And then open your knees, butterfly stretch. Let's do that together. Take a deep breath in, let your belly expand. A long sigh out and release any tension from that exercise. Then your knees come in together. We'll take a little glute stretch. Cross your right ankle onto the left knee. And then bring your left leg towards you. Hands behind the left leg, right knee pressing wide. And then left foot to the floor, right leg in the air, kick it back. 5, 4, 3, 2. Right foot to the floor, left ankle crosses. Bring your right leg in, left knee wide. Push the tailbone down. Release your right leg, left leg in the air. 5 kicks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release that leg down, straighten both legs out down the mat. Relax your arms, palms up to the ceiling or to the sky. And open. And even if you haven't got the sun on you, there's probably light coming in the room you're in from the source of the sun. So just acknowledge the sun's presence. Just breathe and feel there's real nourishment when you think of the sun's energy. How much life it brings. How really reliant upon the sun we are for our life. So just dedicate your breaths in honor to the sun, your life to the sun. Think of how many civilizations across the globe do this as part of their daily rituals. How we have places like Stonehenge and the pyramids, which have been purposefully built just to honor the sun. Just for these few moments now, just take your own inner time to honor the sun and its connection with you, because without it, you wouldn't be here. Breathe as if you are the sun, radiating warmth and light around you. Take a couple more full breaths. Deep in. Long and slow out. This time with a sigh, deep in. And then stretch your arms overhead. Wriggle yourself long. We'll do a little side body stretch here. So banana to the right. And then banana to the left. And then straight banana. Maybe we can call it a seasonal thing. Courgette. They're not straight, are they? Cucumber. Anyway, some carrot. It's not quite in season. Big stretch out. Arms lift. Roll your spine up or hug your knees in if you prefer. Up to sitting. Thank you all. Well done.